our ticket holders here at Circuit of the Americas, and this is a special opportunity just for them to hang out. We're going to take some of their questions and ask them of you. So thank you so much for joining us again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So first question, let's just jump right in here, is this comes from Melissa Albrecht. Melissa says, since you were one of the only drivers to get to practice on the track, do you think you have a better chances of winning at the inaugural race here at COTA?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think our chances of winning are any higher, but it's definitely nice to have some reps before the weekend. But everybody's going to get practice on Saturday morning. So I really think, the guys who are prepared well, which I'm sure most all of them will be, they'll be up to speed, just as quick, if not quicker than me. It's been a couple months and I've only seen it one time. So I'm still going to have to kind of relearn a few things too.
What was it like taking your first laps around the track here?
Yeah, it's a cool track. And I think for me, just an exciting thing is to go to a new location. I mean, we see a lot of racetracks and, most of them are asphalt and some of them have left turns and some of them have right turns. But it's always cool to go to a new area, to see a new facility. That facility is really nice. Obviously has hosted some USGPs, and that's super cool. And I think that, it's an honor for our sanctioning body to be able to go and race there. So looking forward to that. But like I said, the most exciting thing for me is just to see a new town. I've never really been to Austin, so I'm excited to go check out some food and restaurants and see what's good out there.
I love it. And already I'm sure all the folks in chat are like, here's the barbecue place you need to go to. And really, It's any of them.
Yeah. So I hear.
Yeah. Barbecue and breakfast tacos. You got to get some breakfast tacos while you're here. So Stephen Cardenas asks, which turn poses the greatest challenge at Circuit of the Americas?
Yeah, that's tough. All of them. I mean, I think they can all go south just as quick as they can go good. So everybody talks about turn one. Obviously that the way that hill is, a lot more elevation there than you see on TV or see in pictures. It really doesn't do it justice. It's a pretty big hill there. So just that combined with how that corner is shaped, it's such a sharp turn. You always have the option to shortcut that and really try to get a position on a guy. But it has you so out of position to make the actual turn. So you just have a ton of option there of how much, you want to get aggressive and how much you want to shortcut it, so curious to see how we all adapt to that. I feel like we'll just have to kind of take that as it comes and learn, but that's really the first one that comes to mind. And it seems to get talked about the most. So we'll see.
What about the speeds on the backstretch there? What do you think the top end speeds are going to be coming around the backside there?
Yeah, it's a good question. To be honest, I didn't really pay attention to it when we were there.
Did it feel fast?
Weeks ago. Yeah, it felt pretty fast. I mean, that's a really long back straightaway. I mean, it's got to be, I don't know what the length is, but it seemed like close to a mile. Am I wrong? Am I close on that?
I feel like you're close because it's a 3.41 mile track, and that backstretch is a good chunk of it. So I'd say you're probably close.
So that's as long of a straightaway as we see, especially at a road course. So it definitely feels like you're going fast. Obviously a really heavy braking zone. That's as sharp of a corner as turn one is. So you have your three sharpest turns on the track are, either at the end of a straightaway or starting a straightaway or at the other end of it. So yeah, it's, taxing on the brakes because you're going from, I would assume 180, 190 probably to, probably 50 miles an hour or slower, maybe slower through that next turn. So it's a unique little stretch of asphalt.
Yeah. By the way, Sean says it's 3,960 feet long. So there we go.
A little shy. Yeah, but close.
Yeah. So Evelyn Coleman asks, and this is a great question because we've got a ton of new NASCAR fans coming. For those Austinites who may be new to NASCAR, what's the number one thing that we should be looking out for this weekend?
You know, that's tough. I got that question earlier today, and I don't really have a good answer for you. I know most of the folks around Austin that have either been to an F1 race or an IndyCar race or something along those lines. It's different for sure. We don't, our sport and our type of racing is not as engineering filled once the race begins. But all of those same elements and elements of strategy, elements of engineering, incredible fabrication work, all those things that you have in F1 and you have in IndyCar, they all happen in NASCAR. I just don't think it gets appreciated quite as much as it does in that stuff, probably because it's just not as displayed as much. So I feel like my message would be, hey, if you enjoy all those aspects of other types of racing, there's just as much strategy in what we do as what those guys do. It's just different. But I feel like if you appreciate racing in general and you appreciate all the things that come with that, green flag runs and hard racing and how strategy can dictate an event, we're gonna give you that too. And I'm very confident in that. So hopefully it's a good show, and look forward to being a part of it.
It's going to be a wild one to watch with, 20 turns on this road course. One of the questions that's come up too is about spotters. How many spotters are you going to have in your ear, and how are you guys going to communicate, figuring out what's going on throughout the race course?
Yeah, I think we're planning on having 3 for our team, and I assume some guys may have more, but I would say 3 is probably going to be your minimum. Might get away with 2, but I think 3 is probably the safe number to be able to have eyes everywhere, but also not have so many people that it just gets confusing. So I think that's a good number for us, and that's kind of how we're going to approach it and go from there.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think one of the cool things too for fans coming in is to make sure you get a scanner, get the app downloaded, et cetera, where you can listen to the chatter between the drivers and the spotters, et cetera, because I think we're going to have a very interesting radioactive coming out of this race for sure.
You might.
Well, one final question for you before we wrap up here. I know that this is something new, but you're the champion of our sport right now with your championship from last year. Going into a race like this, are you excited about something being added to this sport? And what advice do you have for the fans just getting to watch this race this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just exciting to go somewhere new. And that's really not something that NASCAR has done a lot of in the past 20 years. I mean, it's been a lot of the same tracks. But I will say that, this leadership group at NASCAR they've changed more and are willing to try new things more in these past 2 years than I think they have in the 20 years plus prior to that. And I think that's an exciting thing. There's a lot of fantastic racetracks around our country that we have access to that are capable of hosting a NASCAR event that we haven't visited. And COTA is one of them. So I'm just excited that we're taking these chances. We're trying new things. And I think the most important thing with trying something new like that is not setting an expectation that is unrealistic. Things might go really good. They might not go really good. But I think we all need to appreciate that we're trying something new. And I'm excited for that aspect. And I think a lot of people are as well.
Man, I am too. And this is, like you said, something that I feel like our leadership and are taking us in the right direction, both at the track level and at the sport level. It's been cool to see what Marcus has stepped out with having the Texas Grand Prix here. And so I'm super stoked. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Chase, just so you know, the 300 fans here, some of them took their kids out of school, took the day off just to be here. So do you have a special message for them for joining you here?
Yeah, just thank you. I mean, like always, our fans are great. You guys are dedicated, always have been. And it's exciting for me because, we visit different parts of the country every week. And it kind of blows my mind sometimes when you go to a part of the country that I have no history with, no time visiting, and you see support from that area, and you see it in large numbers. So there's really no words to describe that other than just thanks. And I notice it, and it definitely doesn't go. I don't take it for granted either. So just appreciate you guys being here. Look forward to seeing you at the race this weekend, and hope you guys enjoy our first trip to COTA.
Awesome, man. Chase, we're so excited to have you. Hey, give us all a little fist bump there.
Yeah.
Everybody give a little fist bump here. Chase, all the fans, thank you guys so much for tuning in. How about it? Big round of applause in the chat. For Chase Elliott, driver the number 9, we'll see you here at the Echo Park Automotive Texas Grand Prix this weekend.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.